First question first. So is this an expression or equation? Wait, you don't have to look at your this. You can close it. So is this an expression or equation? Why do you need to care? Why do you need to care whether it's an expression or equation? Why do you need to care? Okay, just now we have this question, w over 20 minus w over 10. Or w over 10 first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, w over 10 first. Okay, so this is the expression, right? With the equal sign, this whole thing is a, so this 2 is a expression. The whole thing is an equation. How do you tell? With the equal sign, is an equation. Okay? Without the equal sign, is a expression. So similarly, expression or equation for this one? Expression. So why do you need to care? You need to care because, let me show you. How do you do this question?
Change the same denominator.
Yes. You need to show your step. 2 mark. You need to show your working. Okay? Times 4, times 4, times 3, times 3. So this is the working you are supposed to show. If you don't show the working, 0. 4x minus 3x, x. So this is the answer. Are you clear? Okay, what if I change the question to equation? Funny, I cannot clean it so nicely. Okay, good. So what if I change the question to this? Pay attention, huh? So what is this? This is an expression. This is a
Equation.
very good. So this is the equation. I'm going to show you how these two questions are different. Just because this is an expression, this is an equation. You do the same thing for the left hand side. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you end up with x over 12. What you do next? You have 12 here, you have 12 here. What do you do next?
Cross.
Okay, of course you can cross multiply, but you have 12 and 12 for the denominator. You can
Divide or cancel.
cancel, yes. So x equals to 1. So can you compare the answer? So when it's an equation, right? When it's an equation, you can cancel the denominator if they are the same denominator. But if it's an expression, right? Can you cancel the denominator? Can you cancel the denominator?
No.
No. Okay? Can you let this sink it? Can you let this sink in? When can you delete the denominator?
If it's an equation.
Yes. If they're the same denominator, left and right, you can delete the denominator. So you end up with x equals to 1 for this question. Are you clear?
Yeah.
So equation you can. Expression
Cannot.
cannot. Yes. So same thing for this. I'm not going to go through all. This is pretty similar. And by the way, this is not an equation. Can you cross multiply?
No.
Yeah. So yes. So another thing is for equation here, just now you asked me to cross multiply, right? And what I say no need, right? Do you know why no need?
Cause
Because I can delete the denominator and straight away get the answer, right?
Yeah.
But of course, if you wish to cross multiply, you can cross multiply. But remember, cross multiply only works with a equal sign in between. So if you cross multiply, you will end up with 12x equals to 12. So x, so here is divided by 12. This is also divided by 12. So this is 1. Are you clear? Are you clear? Okay, good. So remember, for equation, you can do two things. You can do either delete the denominator, or you can cross multiply. Right? But I think you are more comfortable with cross multiplication, so go ahead and do cross multiplication. So for expression, can you do any of these two or not?
No.
Cannot. For expression, the only thing you can do is combine. Okay? Please sink in. Okay? So this is the equation or equation. So, but this equation is not so straightforward. You have a 2x over 3, but over here you have a 5. So what do you do with the 5?
Change to fraction.
Yes, change it to fraction so that you can.
Cross.
Yes, you can cross multiply, but you don't. Do you know what I prefer for this? I prefer times a 3 here. Do you know why? Do you know why I convert it to 15 over 3?
So can get delete the,
Why you can delete in this case?
because this is an equation.
Yes, so it's an equation so that if I have the 3 here, I have the 3 here, I can delete. So I end up with 2x over 15. So x is equal to, so this is divided by 2, this is divided by 2, so it's 7.5. You are not going to write this, why? Why this is wrong?
That one is improper.
Not only improper, by the way, you need to show it in the simplest form, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you clear? So I make use of delete the denominator technique for equation. Or you can use the other technique, which is cross multiply, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the two you can use. 这题. So you have this. How do you solve this?
The negative 4.
Yes. So basically before you do anything, right, you should underline similar term first. Okay? So let me use wavy line to underline the x, then the rest is straight line. And then what you decide to do, try to bring the negative 4 over, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you move things over, what's the rule?
The sign change.
Yeah, you change the sign. So 1/3 x, did you move the 1/3 x?
No.
So you never move it, just copy down. Do you need to change the sign?
No.
No need. So therefore you get 1 plus 4. So you get 1/3 x is equal to 5. Okay, there are two ways to do this. One is, how do you get x? You divide by 1/3. Right? Then you get divide by 1/3. So you get 15. The other way to do this question is, I'm looking at this. The other way to do this question is, change it to same denominator, right? So that you can delete the denominator. So when you delete the denominator, what do you get?
1x
Is equal to,
15.
so x is equal to,
15.
okay? So so yeah. Okay, so for this, I will leave it to you. Okay, by the way, for this question, right, I need to caution you. What I need to caution you is this: you cross multiply is with a bracket. Why?
Because it's
2 items. This one also 2 items. So you need to give yourself a bracket. So once you got the bracket, you need to show that open the bracket. So when you move, you need to change sign for both movement. Can you start from here? I try one of this prawn stuff. Crackers. 不用啊 Too much in your house.
Yeah, we have a lot.
Okay. Cut from here. What's the answer? Underline similar term first. Oh, by the way, during your test, when you underline similar term, you better use a pencil. And by the way, you don't have to show it to your marker. You need to show it to yourself. Okay? Did you change signs for both movement?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 继续. So x equals to 5 plus 2. So x is equal to okay, good. Okay, next. Draw the line on this grid. 什么 line 啊? Oh, is it on the right hand side?
Yeah.
没有嘞
Like on top.
这个啊
Yeah.
This one ah? So it's 2y over x minus 1. Then how do you do this? How do you draw the line? Before you draw the line, what you need to do first?
Mark like do the table.
Correct. So what table you give yourself? What table you give yourself? X plus 1 or minus 1? The question.
X minus 1.
So what table you give yourself? Quick, what table you give yourself?
X.
X and Y, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So X and Y, but there are many X, there are many Y, then how?
The X is negative 3.
You start from what first?
X first.
X equals to what first? X equals to 10.
No.
Then?
Over here the table, right?
They give you a table?
Yeah.
有咩? Sorry, didn't catch. 哦，这里啊？
Yeah.
Are they the same or not? You see the funny thing? They give you this. And then they give you this. Are they the same?
No.
How do you decide whether they are the same or not? Test. Write this down first. Y equals to x minus 1 with a bracket, right? On top, divide by this is divide by 2, right? So divide by 2 is divide by 2, right?
Yeah.
Can you see y is equal to y over 1? Can you cross multiply this? What do you get?
2y.
2y equals to
1x. Minus 1.
Okay, good. So is this the same?
Yeah.
So they are the same thing. They are the same thing. Okay? So that's how you test whether they are the same thing. So they give you a table. So what if they don't give you this table? They just give you this. How do you decide what table you give yourself? So generally you always give yourself the what I suggest is, if they never give you the table, let's say you have to do the table yourself. Okay, what I suggest is, what did I say?
If they didn't give you a table.
Yeah, if they did not give you the table, you need to create your own table. Okay, what I suggest is x and y always test 0 And then if you test the 0, always test 1 and 2. And then test the negative 1, negative 2. Are you clear? So always give yourself 5 values for x. Which 5 values?
The 0,
And then?
and then the positive 1.
Okay, okay, and then?
And negative numbers.
How do you put this negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1, 2? How do you know this series, the series is correct?
You can keep simple.
Yes. You draw it out. Okay? So once you get this, can you quickly give me the answer? I want to create my own table. So basically I give you minus 2, so what is y?
Negative 3.
2y is equal to negative 3 by 1y. 是吗? I give minus 2 here, right? So you still need to have y is equal to, so you divide by,
Negative 3 divided by 2. Negative 1.5.
Good, 继续 negative 1,
Negative,
so now is negative 1 in.
negative 2 divided by 2. Negative 1.
So you need to open your eyes. You need to open your eyes. What question is this? 0?
Negative 2.
等一下 you put 0 into it is negative 1. Negative 1 divided by 2. Negative 1 divided by 2.
2 divided by negative 1.
你在讲什么废话
What?
2y equals to negative 1. So y is equal to, you divide by 2. You divide by 2.
Negative 0.5.
You better, that's why I say you better double check all your answer. Do you know why you need to double check all the answer?
Because
If one of them is wrong,
the
this part is wrong, the rest is all wrong. So whether you do it step by step. So you put the 1 in. 这个 2y equal to 0. I put the 1 in. 0. I put the 2 in.
1 divided by 2. 0.5.
Good. So once you get this, you can start to sketch. But before you sketch, what you do? Before you sketch, what you do first?
Write out the coordinate.
Correct. Can you ignore what the question is asking? Complete this in this, do it over there. Don't need to draw. Just label. Quick one. Minus 2, minus 1.5, minus 1, minus 102. So give yourself 5 points. Go to the grid and do it. Is this the last revision with materials you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Zero and 2, right? 是吗? 0 and 2. Okay, click. Label them on the grid below it. What the? Huh? 拿水。Your labeling is too much. No need to be so. I mean the line don't need to be so big. big enough for you to see. Okay? Because if it's too big, right? Later your this cross is going to like cover the numbers. That's not what you want. Quite in. Which point you are at now? Which point you are at now?
Comma 0.5.
Quite in, no? 2 and 0.5. Did you make a mistake or not? For one of the points, right? All the points, where are all the points?
Yeah.
Right?
And I need to recalculate this one.
Yes, 对, so you better recalculate. Yeah, so when you sense something is not right, so this is the equation 2y equals to x or x minus 1. 2y is equal to x minus 1. So you need to retest this point. This 0 and 2. So you put the 0 into it. Write down the equation first. Do it below. Sorry. Write the 2y equals to x minus 1. 对, so now your x is equal to 0. Yeah, so you don't adjust your point. If you sense something is wrong, you adjust. You don't adjust the point. You redo. Very good. So you redo, and you realize you make a mistake. Very good. 0 and negative 0.5. Zero and negative 0.5. Very good. So you the cross, right, don't be so big until you go and cover the number. Okay, looks good. Like, Shan, link it up. So once again, you don't want to move it, right? What did I teach you? Hold on. You don't want to touch it, right? Where is the lowest one? Yeah, just move it until the... Okay? Correct. Yeah. Yes. Here is where you can touch. It won't move one. Yeah, press it. Yes. Yes. Okay, by the way, you need to extend it a little bit. You cannot stop. You must extend it out a little bit. Wait. 错了，你懂为什么错吗？ You put the ruler again. You must align the entire thing, then you start to draw. You cannot just focus on one side and draw, okay? Hold on. Okay, good. Slowly extend a little bit, left and right. Sorry. Okay, good. 可以. So once you do it, you have your name. This one also must have a name. So you know how to do the entire exercise? Must name the line. So 他讲什么 write down the coordinate point where the line crosses. 你看 cross the y-axis. So in fact they are asking for what?
The intersection.
For
The y-axis.
which is
The point.
just give me one word. Or just one short phrase. So they ask you for the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So what point is that? My homework just now.
No.
The point where the line crosses the y-axis. So which one? You circle the point first. Yeah, so what is this point? Call.
Negative 0.5.
No. I say the name, not the number. This is called a
Y.
Y 什么?
Intersection.
Correct, it's called a Y intersection point. So can you label this? Yeah, you need to give it. So this is the 0 first and then
minus 0.5.
对 then 你看 X intersection. I did not receive your this revision materials, but somehow I created the same questions. So this is called the X intersection points. Okay, where it crosses. Can you circle it?
1.
So the rule of thumb for you is circle it first. 1 and
0.
yeah, 1 and comma 0. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, so like I say, right, they give you this and then they ask you to draw this, right? So you need to realize that they don't look the same, but ultimately when you, so what is the difference between these two? So this one is y equals to x over 1, x minus 1 over 2. This one is 2y is equal to x minus 1. How are these two different? They are different because
One is
this is y,
yeah.
this one is
2y.
2y. So that means next time when you get this in the y format, right, and when you get this in the 2y format, right, you change one of them to see if they are actually the same thing. You understand my point? So let's say if I give you this, and I give you this, how do you know whether they are the same thing? Which one you change?
The y.
Yeah, okay. You change this, so you get it to this, then cross multiply, right?
Yeah.
Then you get 2y, then you get 1 times x plus 5. So 1 times anything is anything. So are they the same? So if they are the same, so that means these two, they are the same thing. Are you clear? When they are the same thing, then basically you draw any one is the same. Okay? 可以吗? Next. Okay, can you do the 4 now on the spot? Do it quick. You can use a calculator. Okay. Oh, before you draw this inequality, what is the first step? Give yourself the series first. The two series you could give yourself quick one. No need to be very nice because it's for your reference. Give yourself a positive one, give yourself a negative one. Both start from 0. Simple counting only. I'm not asking you to do a lot. Yeah. 够了，不用这么多了。 minus 0， 你在写什么 ？Where got minus 0? 0 is 0. Where got minus 0? You will anyhow write. 为什么这样子啊？Good enough. No need so many. 来。Why you switch the sign?
Because divide by negative.
Very good. Times or divide, you need to do it. Okay, good. How do you represent it? Divide. This is negative 1 point.
1.8.
Then you write down your negative 1.8. Where's your negative 1.8? Actually, you should write negative 1.8. No, you should not write negative 1, negative 2 because they want you to spell out the negative 1.8. Your this negative 1, negative 2 is for you to know, okay, the series. Yeah, you put the negative 1.8 in the middle. Then what is left, what's right? Yeah. Given the negative series above. Why? 为什么 negative 1.9 on the left? For negative number, bigger is on the left, right? Yeah, correct. 可以了，不用了，不用了，不用了。No need already. You don't create so many until you are wrong. So it's bigger or smaller? Is bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Okay. Now, okay, so what if I give you this? How do you do this question? Negative 1.9 is bigger than x. How do you do this question? Right? So you label the negative 1.9 first. Okay, can you do it on top or not? You put it below, okay, good. So bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
X is bigger or x is smaller? How do you read this one? How do you read this one?
Negative 1.9.
You sure?
Bigger than.
X. So
Yeah.
read again.
Negative 1.9 bigger than x.
So what is our convention? We always put the x on the left hand side, right?
Yeah.
So if now I force the x to be on the left hand side, then how? It will be
X.
smaller than.
Negative 1.9.
How do you convert this to this? Very simple. Just ask yourself. This is the bigger. This is the mouth open. This is the close. Okay, so you look at it like this. This is the mouth open. So this is this side. The x is which side? The open side or the non-open side? The x is the non-open side, right?
Yeah.
So if you force your x to be this side, then your this one must be the open side must get to the negative 1.9. So if you get this, so how you read this? X is smaller than.
Is smaller than negative 1.9.
So how do you draw x is smaller than 1.9? Minus 1.9. Are you clear? So I give you a few just to test yourself. How do you convert these two? Put it on the right. First one, minus 2 bigger than x. Write the x first. Both, you write the x first. Yes. Yes. So you decide lor. The open side face who? The x is the non-open side. 对. So the x is the open side. Yes. Yes. That's how you convert. So once you convert, then only you can. So when you represent the line, right, you always represent it in this format. This format you cannot represent. If they give you in this format, right, number first, right, you need to convert first. Okay? Next. 下面这题 find the greatest integer. So what's the integer?
Whole number.
Yeah, no? Huh? So what's the integer next? 1.8, 1.9. Where's the negative 2? So after negative 1.9 is? How do you decide? What's the gap? 1 unit is how much, right? 1 unit is how much? 1 unit here is how much?
1
No lah, I'm talking about the difference.
Oh.
Difference is bigger minus smaller.
0.1.
Yeah, 0.1. So that means 1.9, another 0.1 is? 1.8 you have already written down. So you need to find the other one.
2. Negative 2.
Yeah. So that's how you get the negative 2. So what's the 什么 greatest, right? 是吗?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
greatest
Yeah, so it's
integer.
negative 2. Okay, clear? 继续还有吗? This one expression not going to talk about it. Just have to make it same denominator. Can you delete the denominator? Can you use the delete denominator technique here?
No,
Why not?
because it's not equation.
Yes. Can you use the cross multiply here?
No.
Good. So this one also cannot. Hey, there is the tech. Okay, this is the one that you have to pay attention.
The minus need to put the bracket.
Correct. 为什么你现在懂啊?
My teacher got tell me.
Okay. I also keep talking about it. So what you need to do? So always put a bracket. So once you put a bracket, so you have a 3 times. Then for this is 2 times. So you simplify by, so open it up, so it's 3x plus 3 over 6. This one is 2x minus 4, 6, right? So there is a bracket. Okay? So once you have a bracket, right? Then what you do? Very simple. 3x plus 3 minus 2x minus 4 above over 6. So how do you open a bracket here? First arrow, second arrow, right?
Yeah.
What do you get for the first arrow? Minus?
Minus 2x.
Okay, good. What do you get for the second arrow?
Minus 4.
4. So minus 4
Plus.
yes. So simplify similar term. So it's x plus 7 over 6. So it's x plus 7 over 6. Are you clear?
Minus.
哪一个?
Why minus need to put the bracket?
Actually, all you need to put the bracket. Let's say if you do the above one, right? You also need to put the bracket, even though it's plus. Actually, all you need to put the bracket. But do you know why some of why we don't put the bracket for the above one? So even this one you also need to put a bracket. Let me show you. So I put a 5 here. So this one I put a 3, no 2 here. I show you one. So this one, open the bracket first. 10x plus 5, 10 plus 2x minus 6. So even for this you need to put a bracket. So I put the bracket. After that, above, what you end up with is plus 2x minus 6. Okay, so even it's plus, I also put a bracket.
Yeah.
So once I put a bracket, right, what's the first arrow I will get?
Plus 2x.
Hold on. Plus 2x. What about the second one?
Plus minus 6.
Correct. So plus minus becomes?
Negative.
Very good. So can I suggest you, regardless, put bracket? Okay? Regardless, that means regardless of whether here is plus or whether it is minus, can you put a bracket for the behind thing? Because if you don't put the bracket, right, so you put the bracket is to tell the examiner I am actually minus the entire thing. I'm minusing the entire block. When you put the bracket means the entire block, right? We talked about this concept actually last time or so. Let me give you an example. 2x plus 1 divided by 3. So can I ask you, this question is the entire block divided by 3 or just 2x over 3?
The entire.
Yes. So what if I ask you to convert, let's say you put this, right, is entire divided by 3, right? So how you do it is you put a bracket here divided by 3. I mean if you convert this to this. That's why you put a bracket here, to show that the entire thing divided by 3. The entire thing divided by 3. What if you don't put a bracket? What if you don't put a bracket? What's going to happen? What if you don't put a bracket? If you don't put a bracket, you just 2x plus 1 divided by 3, right? What's going to happen? No bracket.
The 1 divided by 3.
Just 1 divided by 3. So you need a bracket or you don't need a bracket?
Need.
Yes, so that's why you need a bracket. That's why just now you asked me why need a bracket above. If you don't put a bracket, let's say if you don't put a bracket here, right, you are not telling people you are using the entire block. Are you clear?
So when the plus 1
Plus also need.
different.
No, need 也要 but we conveniently don't put only. In fact you need. So let's say if I give you this, it's plus, right?
Yeah.
Do you need to put a bracket? Do you need to put a bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need. In fact, it's always a good practice to put a bracket for the behind one. 可以吗? Are you clear? This one, do you need to put a bracket? Yes. Okay? It's always a good practice to put a bracket, whether in front is plus or minus. Are you clear? Just remember, put a bracket, you will solve all problems. Because if you put bracket, your teacher cannot fault you. You don't put bracket, your teacher can fault you. Are you clear? Are you clear or not? Just remember, put the bracket. So let's say if I give you this question change to minus. You also put a bracket. Whether it's plus or minus, just put a bracket there. Just to be on the safe side. So when you put a bracket, so you have the 3 here, you have the 3 here, you have the 4 here, you have the 4 here, right? After that, you still need to put a bracket. Once you open the bracket already, can you see that you still need to put a bracket here? Because you minus, Are you clear or not? What if you don't put a bracket? What if you don't put a bracket? You are not answering my question. What if you don't put a bracket?
Oh. It won't.
If you don't put a bracket, you are not telling people you are minus the entire thing. You just minus one of them only. Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me just go to one question that I will talk. Okay, good. Okay, what is the doubt first? So okay, let's ignore your teachers whether put bracket or not. What is your doubt first? Let's not try to understand why. Okay, let's not listen to your school. Why? What's your doubt first? They never give you bracket, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the first step? The first step is always change the denominator to the same denominator first, right?
Yeah.
So, what you do? 2 times. Okay, let me choose a different color. Right? Okay? So what's the next step? A lot of people, they just combine without putting a bracket. Right? Actually, it's not right. You have to focus for the last 2 questions. Pay attention. In fact, when you get the denominator the same, the next step you should do is put a bracket here. So once you put a bracket here, then you combine with the bracket, and the next step is combine the numerator. So what's the first arrow? What's the second arrow? What do you get for the first arrow? 4. First arrow.
Plus 6x.
Second arrow.
Plus 3.
Plus become.
Plus.
And after that you cross multiply, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So next, let me do the next question. Actually, the most important thing is not put the bracket or not put the bracket. The most important thing is when to put the bracket. I'm going to show you. So for this, same thing, change the denominator. Okay? Now put the bracket. Because once you get the denominator the same, put the bracket. Then combine. What's the first arrow?
Minus 12x.
What's the second arrow?
Minus plus 3.
Becomes?
Minus.
Then after that, cross multiply, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, My question is when you put the bracket. When you put the bracket. When? It's not because whether it's plus or minus. When you put the bracket. When? When what?
Two denominators.
When you have already changed the denominator the same, and when you are about to combine them. When you are about to combine the numerators. Same thing. When you put a bracket, when you have the same denominator, and then when you are about to combine the numerator. Can you put away your hands first? I asked you to pay attention, right? For the last two questions. So similarly, if you have this, is it the same denominator?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is it the same denominator?
Yeah.
So what did I say just now? Same denominator,
Put bracket.
correct? Correct or not? Different denominator, what you do first?
Change.
Change the denominator first. Here. When the denominator is not the same, 3 and 2, your first step is change the denominator the same thing first. Once you change it to the same, then you start to put a bracket. Are you clear? So nothing to do with minus or plus in front. Understand? So the question is when to put the bracket. You put the bracket when you are about to combine. Can you see that? When you want to combine them?
Yeah.
Can you see that when you want to combine them? Over here, you like this step to this step. Let's say this is the first step, and this is the second step. Can you see that the first step, right? The first step here, you are not doing the combination. Can you see that you are not doing the combination?
Yeah.
They are still separate, right?
Yeah.
So when you are not doing the combination, you don't need to put a bracket. It's only when you try to combine them, you put a bracket. Same thing. Step 1 here. You are not trying to combine them, you don't need to put a bracket. But once you try to combine them, you need to put a bracket here already. Are you clear? Then for the first question, this step to this, you are trying to combine them, right? Can you see? You're trying to combine them, right?
Yeah.
So when you try to combine them, you have to put a bracket here at the back. If you don't put a bracket, like I say, you don't put a bracket, that means you are not minus the whole thing. If you don't put a bracket, you are telling people. Okay, let me just give you one more example. No bracket. So you have the same denominator already, right? You don't put a bracket, right? You minus what? You minus the 2x only. While you are supposed to minus the
Or entire thing.
Yes. So the bracket is to tell the examiner or yourself, I am minusing the entire block, not just the 2x. Are you clear? So the question is about when to put the bracket. In fact, you should put the bracket always. Okay? 就这样子. So hopefully